Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. This video is based on the week of November 15, 2024. We're going to talk about the top growth stocks that I follow. I have a very strict criteria right now. Most of them have 4 weeks of earnings growth forecasted. So if they miss a quarter of earnings growth, it might not be on this list. And even with that being said, there's about 200 stocks on my list. Yeah, just slightly over 200 stocks. There's probably more that I missed, but anyhow. So with that being said, I'm going to try to go over as many stocks as possible. Most of these stocks are in pullback mode, but they're still in an uptrend. So generally I like to buy on rebound on the pullback. I don't buy on the pullback itself. I need to see some bounce, especially if it tested the low multiple times, even intraday, stuff like that. So yeah, that's being said. So for those never seen this spreadsheet, this is sorted by performance based on October 9th, roughly the beginning of the earnings reporting season this season. And as you can see, SEZL are doing really well, 140% gain since then. Here's the daily and weekly RS rating. Generally, it just means whether they're closing high on the week or not, or on the day. We also have this uptrend or downtrend mode, basically near the 10-21 day line. Above it is uptrend. If it's within 1% of that, or it is below that. Then we have the groups and sectors here that gives you very clear which area they belong to. I focus on 6 areas, so 6 sector groups here. So we'll just start from the top here. So again, SEZL, let's run to the chart. So you can see this is a very strong earnings gap up right here, or maybe not that much right there. And then I don't know. This is actually not the day of the earnings. So that's two days later. No, maybe that is the gap up of the next day. But then since then it has pulled back, and so I don't usually chase stocks that have run up and then gap up, because that's like, you can see here it crosses a channel line here. When I draw a trend line across the tops, it means it's super extended, and this is what's happening right now. After extended, sometimes it go up a couple more days and then it'll start to fall. And a couple things could happen here. It could digest in a very short period, 1-2 week, and then continue on, or it could start to fall into a base again and build a whole new base here. So yeah, so in general, I don't usually trade stocks at this time, just because there's just way more risk than reward. But you can see the numbers are still pretty strong growth here, and you can see the earnings line, continue to go up. So this is SEZL in the financial area, and as we saw from the previous video, financials are still one of the strongest group, especially given Thursday's Friday's drop. It actually holding up the best in most areas, compared to most areas. App, this one again has been tearing the whole market. Like most people know, this is like a superstar now. This one and Palantir. So again, very similar chart. You can see it gap up on the earnings, and then it went up about 3 more days. No, how many? Yeah, one day more, and then it started to form consolidation. It tried to break out here but failed, and then Friday it tried to come back up again. Now again, very risky at these levels, because they're so extended. Doesn't mean they can go up more. But if the market, the growth stocks, they tend to follow the general market, especially when they start to be obvious that they're in a downtrend. Now, the fact that this stock hasn't dropped much Thursday, Friday is a good sign, right? Let's put it that way, because again, you expect them to follow the market, and the market, Nasdaq came down hard, and this stock, which is in Nasdaq, didn't come down hard. In fact, it reversed on Friday morning. So it's possible so here you see it tested the low here. It did undercut from 2 days ago, but then it bounced back and closed at the top. So it's good sign. Like at least short term, I think there's some support. The only thing I don't like about this chart is that the 10-day is so far away. It's just almost like quite far. Like I mean, generally you don't see the 10-day too far away, right? It tend to hug it, and like most stocks, even after a big run, you want to see the 10-day catch up. So it might have more consolidation around here, and then before it goes. So that's my only thought about this one. I'm just gonna jump to Palantir right away because they're very similar. Very similar. You see, it kind of broke above this trend line here. This is the um, earnings gap up. Now this one went up a lot more, right? You can see, but here it's starting to show some turbulence. And then on Friday, there was the news that they will change exchange. They will go into Nasdaq from NYC, and then it give it a big boost. So what to take of that is up to you. But it's definitely quite extended. Again, phenomenal stock. Yeah, so this one, Palantir is number 8 on the list here. We have ML Software Financial. So that's one. XMTR, Industrial Machinery, or Reddit. So let's look at Reddit. So Reddit, we have this big earnings gap up here, and then went up for a second day, and it pulls back. And notice how here it bounced. It didn't undercut the low no more, and we got close to the 10 days. So this is good. You know, visually, it's a good like little space between the low and the green line, and it continues higher. And then this was Monday. It reversed. So that I don't like downside reversal on the day. Um, and I'm not sure how's the volume. The volume is okay, so maybe that's okay. And then the next day it fall a little bit more. Volume came down a little bit, so again it's okay. Wednesday the buy volume wasn't as strong on the bounce, and then Thursday again, even though it hold, again the volume wasn't as strong as well, and then Friday it reversed. And so far, even though there's not much volume, generally that's a good thing. If the momentum is kind of up, right? I mean down. But in this case, because it reversed on Friday again, I don't like that because now the downtrend line is very clear. So it's 45-degree angle down. So yeah, and the fact that the bounce fell, this is the problem right here. All right. So XMTR, yeah, we already talked about. So let's go to ATEC medical products. So many health got hit hard this week. So I'm not even going to look into those, but a lot of them, at least most of my health stock got knocked out. XMTR, yeah, we already talked about that. ATEC, medical products, downtrend. SOFI, another financial stock. Let's go look at that one. So this one, very strong pattern here. You can see the nice breakout right here. This is the first buy point probably. Then we have this earnings news that gap down, reversed from the 21-day line, and then it came back up. It make a new high, a slightly newer high, but then it pulls back. But look at the pullback. Each day it closed at the top of the range, and look at the volume. Not much. So it's holding, plus the volume is low, and finally on the bounce, volume start to come back in. That's exactly what you want to see. And then as you see, the volume comes back in again, more and more volume, the stock goes higher. So now we're seeing exactly the same thing again. The volume start to soften as it pulls back. On Friday, it bounced. It didn't make a new low, and then volume comes back in a little bit, just a little bit. So looking okay so far. I would prefer it to break this. So this, you can see I set my alert trend line right here. So we cross back above that trend line. It's still very extended stock. I probably won't take into this position just because it already ran up so much. But if you were to, that would be another area to get into it. LRN, educational stock. So we talked about this stock previously. Here's the buy point right here on the gap up, and I missed the initial gap up day. I bought it the second day, and it holds really tight right here. Didn't want to touch the green line, which is 10-day, and then it bounced. Then after it make a new high, it pulls back in. Again, same thing. It didn't want to touch the green line. It bounced again, and then it went up to here, and then it started to drift back down again. Look at the volume. Now Friday it did rebound. It did make a new low, very similar pattern. Didn't want to touch the green line. The only problem was I did take a position, another position there, but as you notice, the volume wasn't that high. So this could be a mistake. We'll see. Next stock is upward in this commercial area staffing. This stock broke out, and unfortunately, it hasn't worked since the breakout. Now, it's normal for a stock to pull back after a breakout, and the question is, how much is it going to pull back? And because this is a very low price stock, it's going to be a lot more volatile. So I did have a buy right here, and looks like it's starting to fall apart. The only good thing is the volume is getting lower and lower, but that doesn't mean it won't come in volume. It depends where people set their stops at. So my stop is around this level, and very close to it, right? You can see. So if it doesn't, right now it just slightly undercut the 10-day. If it doesn't bounce right away, I'll probably lose. Next we have TZOO in the leisure area, TWLO. We have TOST, financial credit card payments. So this one is doing really well. You can see it making new highs on Friday. So let's go take a look. So next one we want to talk about is TOST in the finance credit card payment area. Unfortunately, I missed this one. And you can see the turnaround right here on the earnings. It's very powerful. And look at this weekly chart pattern. It just like really consolidated for a long time, and you can see all this consolidation even at the top right here. And then once it came out, it took a few weeks like to even you have to be a little bit patient, and then it finally moved. And then you can see the earnings really push it even higher. Now, I wouldn't consider this the same as App and Palantir because it hasn't made a run uh, previously, and because it only break out so recently, I wouldn't consider this like a close to a climax run or anything. But again, as I said, I missed this stock. I wasn't paying attention, and you can see it continue higher. And even this week, Thursday and Friday, again, financials did better, but you can see this stock like really not showing any slowdown. Volume continued to come higher, even on the day of Thursday. That even though it's a up day here, but I look at it from a market perspective, and the fact that no one wants to come in and sell that stock on Thursday shows that there's lots of support. And same thing with Friday, right? And then Friday also make a new high. You see the end. This is called the end. On the end can be good or bad, but usually it signifies accumulation because of higher volume, and that's what's happening now. It only happens after like I don't know how they count it. It only happens after like certain number of days, and after that like 8 or 9 days, I don't know. Once you see more than that, it will start to count ends. Ends could mean that they're near the top, or they could be also which is very rare, but it could also signify the beginning of a big move. So it's kind of hard to know which one, but that's why I said like right now I do think it's a little bit extended just because you can see the green line is pretty low compared to where the price is at. I usually don't buy when it's too far away from the green line, unless it's in a base or breakout or some sort, right? But this is not near a base. This is like quite extended. So I need to see, test this 10-day. Like that's the thing. It's all about testing the lows, testing the moving average, the short-term moving average, like that. But yeah, this stock is very powerful, and you can see it's in the top 10 or number 12. CLS, another strong stock. This one is in the electrical contract manufacturing, and so here's the initial breakout. I took my first position there, went up a little bit, then starts to pull back. It barely touched the 10-day, and then it bounced. Took my second position right here. I think I did a stop out here because my stop was too tight. But that's something you learn to do over time. It's okay to get stop out. You just have to buy back in. And I just make a mistake here, like putting my stop too close. And then it moved up really strong, and then now it's pulling back. And then on Friday, look at what it did. Not only did it undercut the 10-day, but it reversed. And then not only did it reverse, it closed near the top of the range. And look at the volume come in. So let's go look at the intraday chart. So I did take a position near the end of day, another position. And so look at this intraday move. It just doesn't want to come down. Look at that, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, right? There's lots of accumulation. Look at those blue bars on the volume side. So lots of accumulation gives me confidence that this works. This might work. And this is look at the weekly chart for a second. This is a powerful stock. Look at this earnings line and look at the forecast. It's starting to, not grow in terms of percentage as fast, but it's still very consistent growth. And this is near a 10 billion cap, $82 stock. It could become more. I'm sure not many people, at least I don't hear many ID guys trade it. So it could become more and more known. Next, we have NGVT in the chemical specialty, MDGL in the biotech, ALAB. So ALAB is now correcting or pulling back. A quick look here. So ALAB is, still in kind of this long-term base here since the IPO. So it's not too far out yet. It tried to break out here. You can see it pulls back again, very normal. Now we're testing the short-term 10-day. We did go under below that. Volume didn't come in a little bit higher. So I don't have this stock right now, but it's good to be on your watch list. I think there's potential. It did run up a lot the previous week, so again, expect some pullback, which we did. Now we'll see how it can stabilize itself around this short-term moving average. This is definitely more volatile stock, but it's not small. It's 13 billion, $86. Numbers are excellent on the earnings side. Next, we have Fresh in the software area. That one's in the uptrend still. SNCY, Transportation Airline, that's in the downtrend slightly. TWLO. So here's TWLO. It broke out on this gap up earnings here, like most stocks did, and it has climbed. Unfortunately, I don't have too much position in this because it never gives you a chance to buy in, as it never pulls back. This is the first 2-day pullback we've seen here, and volume is a little bit high on above average. The price movement is a little bit tight, so that's good, at least on the closing part, as the 10-day is starting to catch up. So it's possible that we're starting to see some consolidation here, and before it bounce again, and as 10-day comes up. So this might be a possible area to add, and so I'm watching for this. I've trimmed a lot of my positions already. So we'll see. But like I said, I want to add back into it and see how. Again, this is a very, outside of ALAB and Palantir, this is probably the third tech stock that I like a lot. There's Shopify as well, very similar chart. This one gap up, but it pulls back right away. It did rebound right here, but it did undercut the low, right? So we'll still need more proof that it can bounce back. Now again, the green line, which is the 10-day moving average, is still quite far apart, so it could come back more. Yeah. So next we have AXON, another superstar. This is in the security safety group. So we have this run right here, then we gap out on earnings. So then it went up for 1 or 2 days more, and then it start to, consolidate. Now this consolidation is so tight right now. And look at the Friday's move. It's like it barely moved in terms of price. And again, Friday and Thursday is not a good day for the market, and the stock behaved quite well as the 10-day moving average is catching up. So yeah, definitely possible to see a bounce soon. But yeah, consolidation is good. So we want to see if it can move again. So I'll set an alert line here, and then we'll see if it can continue this move. Next, we have OLO in the retail internet. So we don't see many, as you can see, we have financials, we have technology. Again, as I mentioned, the health is not doing so well right now. We have some industrials, and we have some retail related areas, but we don't see many oil and gas yet. But as we saw in the market recap video, we're seeing energy stocks start to move. This is GTLS. So here's a big cup base here, and it breaks out, and then it's starting to pull back. So again, very common pattern. So here we want to see how it reacts around the 10-day. Now the volume so far coming in is been high, so we'll see how it reacts around the 10 day. Next we have PBPB, retail restaurants, KRNT, machinery, PRCT. This is biotech, again downtrend right now. So next we have GSHD, Goosehead Insurance. So here we have this breakout right here. Then it goes up, and then it pulls back once more, and before this earnings gap. And I think that was the day I took position. And then it goes up, and then a couple more days, 2-3 days, then it start to fall again, and then it touches the 10-day, the green line, and then it bounced, and then I took my second position there, and now it has moved up all the way here. And Thursday and Friday, look at that volume. Not many wants to sell. 10 days catching up again, so looking really strong, this stock. Next we have MGNI. This is a new name this week that I got into, computer software. So this is a $15 stock, so it might be more volatile. Here's the trend line right here. Again, it's, earnings was quite volatile as well. It came back down and then moved up, but then the next day it followed through. And then it climbed for a few more days here and didn't quite make the 20% mark yet on the green bar. And then now it's falling back. The volume is a little bit higher than average, but much lower than previous updates here. So the volume is quite insane in terms of like demand here. So I think possible, like, but the 10-day is so low, so it might come down more, right? Before it bounce again. Next we have PTSG, health sector, VCEL also in the biotech health sector, LPLA in the financial investment banker broker, CVLT database, Delta Airline, transportation airline. Yeah, look at that one. Here we have this nice breakout right here. Earning news came out and it reversed after that the following day. So then it moves up to here, then it pulls back. Look at how tight that is. Then it bounced again, and I took my next position. Moves up right here, and it pulls back, and then it bounced again. Took my next position, and then here it moves up, and then here it bounced again. I missed this opportunity to add to this. Now it moves up to here. Now it's pulling back. Now this time the volume is a little bit higher, so I would be a little bit cautious here on the selling side. So we'll see. Could be because we did make the 25% gains here, so it's possible that it might take a break from here. So we'll see if this continue on the high selling volume here. HubSpot. So this one just broke out on the base right here. It has climbed quite a bit, but again, this is within the base, so I don't consider this climatic. As it moves out, now we're pulling back. Again, very common for it to break out and pull back. Now we watch to see what happened at the 10-day line. So far, the volume, a little bit higher than average, but it is coming down. Again, the software area has seen a very strong move recently, right? So it's possible this digestion is okay, right? It's normal. So we want to see it bounce that way. Next we have nerds in the financial area, Cabana, retail wholesale, SFM, retail super mini market, XPOF. This is in the leisure service, SkyWest, transportation airline, TTMI, electric contract manufacturing, so same as CLS area, HAE, medical system equipment, WGS. This is in the biotech. So this is GeneDx, WGS, the symbol. Again, this stock doing really well before. It was running, and then this is the recent consolidation, and then it gap out on earnings. And if you chase this stock, you are definitely under the water right now. And then it consolidate around the 10-day. And I was watching really closely, and I think I took a position on this day, but it fell pretty much on Friday, I think. Yeah, so it undercut the low right here. So now it's falling even below the 21-day. Now this is starting to look dangerous, right? So just a word of caution, right? When stocks run up a lot, it's great. Like this one, it ran up a lot, it's great. But on the downside, it could also happen as fast, especially once you start to see weakness. Remember, everyone who's trading this stock, they're all looking at the same thing, and it fell this support line right here. This is critical support level. Now everyone sees the same thing, and a lot of people might start to unload this stock, and that could trigger a really huge momentum on the downside. So we gotta be very careful about this because this stock has been leading for so long, and when it falls, it can fall as hard. So that's why risk management is always number one. This reminds me of SNCY, and when it starts to fall, it starts to fall. So you gotta be very careful. And this stock is like really bad right now. Yeah, the weekly chart. Yeah, so at the top here, when it top, and once it fell, it started to fall really hard. So we gotta be careful. Yeah. Next we have Rambus in the electric semiconductor, Trivia, computer software, medical, pen, medical product, SQ. So for the SQ block, we had a breakout right here, but it pulls back and pretty much it's a fail because it's probably under 7% loss here. So it fell on this breakout, but then it reversed that day. That's very important. And I didn't take a position that day, but you can see I took a position the day following, and it bounced off above the 10-day, and that's where it went. And then it came up all the way to Wednesday, and again from there it reversed. So again, not a good sign. It pulls back Thursday, and then Friday it hit a new low, and look at the volume, not much selling. So then it reversed. It's possible to take a new position here. Possible. We get close to this high here, breaking this high, then probably it's a good risk on here. Next we have Spotify. So Spotify came out initially right here, but even here it came out, and then again I didn't buy into it because I didn't want to deal with the earnings, but the earnings was good for them, and so they kept going up another day after, and then it reversed, and now the 10-day is trying to catch up, and we'll see what happens near the 10-day. So next we have Morgan Stanley, broke out right here, ran up a little bit more, and then we have a slight pullback and trading really tight right here, and then we have a gap up. Not sure what the news is. Oh yeah, the election day. And then look at how it doesn't want to come back down, and then bounce again. Now it hasn't made much of a move since then, but this is acting really strong. Consider the market pullback recently, Thursday, Friday. So this could have more room to run. VST. So again, so this is in the utility electric power. So here, the VST, CEG, there's a few other ones in the electrical power related. This one ran up 34% from the pivot right here, and then it started to pull back, and it bounced on the 21-day right here, and then comes back up a little bit, and then it got reversed again. So you can see reversal are always a change of direction. It happens here on the downside. It also happens here on the upside. And then here we have the reversal again at the bottom. Not too crazy of a reversal, but the next day it falls through, and then it bounces again, and then we make a slightly new high, and then it falls back again. Now, how's the falling back? Well, volume has subsided, so that's good. But Friday's bounce, a little bit of volume higher, not too much. So we'll have to see. But the trend line looks like this on the downside. So if it breaks through that, this might be a good opportunity to get back into this stock. On the weekly side, it looks pretty small, flat base right here. So it's possible can continue to go. Earnings 139 compared to 59 cents, so pretty good going forward. The other similar stock that I have is VRT. You can see the earnings are pretty good going forward. Very similar pattern as BST, very tight. This one is near the breakout point actually. Well, not so much anymore, but it's trading really tight, and then it broke out right here. Here's the high. Here's the handle, and then here was the earnings, and it didn't react well on that day, but then it bounced a little bit, and then it gave back, and it tested this low right here, and then after it tested that low, and the volume on the sell side was not too bad, and then its volume come back in and push this stock higher, and then here we're starting to pull back again. So like it doesn't look like it, but it's already 20%, 25% gain from this breakout right here. So 100 to 120 roughly. And then right now it's sitting at 120 right here. Now volume is not that low, so we'll have to watch this. Now I did take a position on Friday, I add to it, but as you can see it closed near the bottom, so this could be a mistake. So unfortunately, yeah, it fell back down. Look at the intraday chart. So it's sometimes, this is hard to tell when it's a good time to buy. So here I bought around an hour's in, and you can see it fall back. So it didn't work out the best. It kind of followed the market because the market kind of pulled back pretty much during that time as well. And but I like how this closes right here, even though it's a little bit on the low side still, but it come in some volume bars here, so maybe okay, we'll see. So then we have WCC, electronic parts, DAR in agriculture operations, RDNT, medical output, home care, Q2, software financial, PX, finance investment management, AAL, also another transportation airline like Delta. We have ADMA on the health biotech in a downtrend right now. KD, another software enterprise in an uptrend, doing okay. ATGE, another education stock, but slightly on the downside. JPT, general industrial, NARI, downtrend in the products, medical products. Charles Schwab, uptrend in the investment broker. We have SFBS in the Bank Southeast Regional. ACVA, this one was showcased in, I believe, this week in the retail wholesale automobile in the uptrend. You can see FIX in the building heating products in the uptrend. TRGP, this is so we're starting to see some oil and gas here. So they're starting to climb this list. So I would pay attention to that as they have momentum right now. This is in the refining marketing area. Royal Caribbean, RCL, leisure service in the uptrend. Netflix, we already talked about that in the main market video. Audio Eye. So this one, it came back, it went up and then it came back down really quick. So I got stop out on this. LOB, Bank Southeast, DRS, Aerospace Defense. So Aerospace Defense is another area that also getting hit this week. So that one is a downtrend. NWAC, Financial Consumer Loans, doing good. SF, Investment Brokers. C1, Computer Software Financial. AR, Oil and Gas. Expedia, Leisure Travel. That one is also in the uptrend. NTRS, this is super regional in the financial, also doing well. NOA, Oil and Gas Field Service, this one is slightly in the downtrend. HMN, Insurance. DV, still in the downtrend. Computer Software Enterprise. RNG, Computer Software Enterprise. OKE, another oil and gas stock, doing pretty well. You can see it hit new high on Friday. So let's take a look at this. So here's the nice chart here, and then it pulls back right here. The earnings came out. It didn't do as well after that, but then it found support at the red line, 50-day moving average, and it has bounced since. Look at how it doesn't want to come back to the green line, and then we make new high on Friday. Unfortunately, I missed this on Friday. Otherwise, I would have taken a position in this. But there's still room, maybe Monday. Next, we have Jeffries in the financial group. MERM, Biotech, that one is still in the uptrend. GS, Goldman Sachs, EVR, also in the financial investment group. Dash in the downtrend, slightly TCBI. This one is in, again, banks regional, doing uptrend. CMND, so again, health correcting, downtrend. CPS, auto truck. AirRock, another oil and gas. So this one also looks pretty good. CR, diversified operations. WK software database. BAC, hitting new highs right here. So again, banks doing really well. EBC, Northeast Bank, again, regional bank. VMC, building, cement, construction, slightly in a downtrend. OII, still in the downtrend. GXO, transportation, logistics. EXLS, commercial service outsourcing. Alcoa, rebound on Friday, I think. LSPD, software enterprise, still in the uptrend. Massey, medical system equipment group. AMP, in the finance investment group. I'm going to skip some of this. Feel free to look at your own time. We have TRUP in the insurance health. FI in the financial service specialty. FG insurance life. You see lots of financials right here. VRT, we talk about that. KR, another financial investment management. FLUT is a newer name. Let's take a look at that. At least on my list, it's a newer name. So it break out from this nice pattern right here. Very, very nice base here. It's very tight. You can see the stock trade very tight. Other than this one big day, I don't know. There must be some news here. And then we saw another gap up here. So a couple of days that irregular, but in general the base looked pretty clean. It tries to break out and then it bounced from this reversal day and then it gap up. I'm pretty sure that's earnings day. Gaps out. That's when I took the position. So far it's holding, and on Friday you can see it closed near the top range, and then here's the slope of the 10-day. It's pretty sharp. So I'm looking. I like this chart so far. So we'll continue on. We talk about that CPay, financial service specialty, still in the uptrend. AWI, building construction, FLS, machinery. So as we go down this list, you're gonna start to see more stocks in downtrend now and are pulling back, which usually means they're below the short-term moving average, like 10 and 21 day. CD group here is again all the big banks are doing well. Yeah, we have four in the finance credit card, so that one's still in the downtrend. We have Met Insurance Life, that one's in the uptrend. Another oil and gas transport pipeline ENLC in the uptrend. BK again, another bank, big bank in the uptrend. So all the big banks are doing well, and some of the financials. And then we see lots of energy related stocks starting to move up the list. Let's talk about Kawa. So here we see Kawa. It's been a really good stock. Makes a move here. This is the last time where I was really heavy in this stock, but then it just didn't work well. Like it didn't move much higher before another pullback. And then after that, it tried to come out very slow. Then it did another pullback. And then here is where it works. And then it did really well on the earnings, but then it reversed. As it reversed, which is a very significant reversal, right? And this is why, in my opinion, most of the time when you have a really strong run and then it gaps up or on earnings or some news like it did here and it went up a lot, it's always good to profit because that will help you, lock in some profit and then when it does fall back, like this case, you don't feel as bad. So this is one of those situations where it fall back and then it keep falling. And then on Friday, it did find some support there near the 10-day, but no one really knows if this is going to work, right? It just be more selling coming in after. So again, this has gone up a lot. If you go look at the weekly chart for this year, it's as good as it gets, really. So a lot of people have lots of profit. To me, this is almost like a climax run, just because it has run for so long. And you can see the upper channel line is definitely broken. And so, yeah, again, earnings okay. It's definitely coming down, but it's still growing. So it might take a break here. We'll see. Then we have some other stocks. Again, most of these stocks are now in downtrend down here. So not looking too good. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like, please like and subscribe. Thank you.